Well, good evening, one and all, and welcome to the 28th Annual Salute to Framingham. We are so happy that you are here. Thank you, one and all, for being with us to share this evening of celebration, even if it is a little bit different than usual. I'm David O'Leary. I'm a Framingham resident. I am the proud parent of three graduates of the Framingham Public Schools, and I'm really thrilled to be here tonight as well. Every year at the Salute to Framingham, we honor individuals and groups for their commitment to the youth of Framingham. Tonight, we have a big night ahead of us with many incredible people to honor. Just a couple of housekeeping items as we get started. This is our first time doing this virtually. I don't think I'm alone when I say we hope it's our last time doing this virtually. We want to be together. But for tonight, please bear with us as we work through any technical difficulties. I'm sure there'll be one or two in the next hour or so. There are a couple of silver linings to doing this virtually. We are able to stream this on the Framingham Public Schools Facebook Live. So for folks who can't watch tonight, we're recording the event and it will be posted to Facebook and on the FHS Foundation website and a few other places, so you'll be able to see it again and again and again. We've all been on Zoom calls. This is not a Zoom call. This is a webinar, which means that our hosts and our speakers and our honorees can be seen and or heard. Attendees cannot be seen or heard, but you can be part of the conversation by communicating in the chat. That's that little button right in the center at the bottom of your screen. So we hope that you will fill that chat with all kinds of celebratory and congratulatory notes for our honorees. They will be able to see them. The chat will also be moderated, and we reserve the right to remove anyone who isn't being kind or considerate or helpful, but that's not going to happen tonight. You can follow along with the downloadable program, and I hope you got yours. You should have received it via email. If not, you can find it at the website right now, framinghamhighschoolfoundation.org. The program is under the Salute to Framingham tab, and you'll find that in the chat as well. The money raised from the Salute to Framingham each and every year, it goes to benefit all of the students at Framingham High School by supporting the arts and supporting athletics and activities through the Framingham High School Foundation. We're going to take just a minute to take a look at how some of that money is being used. Please enjoy this.
Thank you, FHS Foundation. Thank you, FHS Foundation. Thank you, FHS Foundation. Thank you, FHS Foundation.
Thank you, FHS Foundation.
Flyer News. Thank you, FHS Foundation.
Nice to see that. For all who are here tonight, who support our youth, whether that is in the schools or out in the community on a day-by-day basis, or by being here tonight and supporting the Framingham High School Foundation, we say thanks to you. Now I'm going to invite you to, this may be a little bit unconventional, but we're going to stand because we're going to play the national anthem. So I invite you to stand, adjust your view if you need to, for the playing of our national anthem. I have a flag right here, but I think we're going to see one on screen. This is going to be performed by the high school choir, and it's going to be directed by Ethan Lobenstein. Please join me for our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see on the mountain light what so proudly hath the twilight's last gleaming his two stripes and bright stars through the perilous stream, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the light that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the whole of the brave.
There you go. Nicely done. Ethan Lovenstein and the Framingham High School Choir, thank you very much for that rendition of our national anthem. Appreciate that. Let's keep the applause going as I introduce our Framingham High School principal. Would you please join me in welcoming Carolyn Bannock? Carrie, good evening.
Good evening, and thank you everyone for providing me the opportunity to share in this very special night. An indomitable spirit of hope and triumph bring us together to celebrate extraordinary people who give so much of themselves for the good of others. We celebrate our students in the class of 2020 and 2021, whose academic and personal achievements are standards to be honored and emulated by future classes to come. These are students who care, students who truly care about the greater good as much as they care about doing their very best academically and remaining steadfast and loyal to their commitments. Their intrinsic sense of responsibility and optimism lead to life that is full of purpose, resulting in enthusiasm to face every day, looking forward to all the possibilities, energized by hope, even during the most difficult of times, certainly times we've experienced since March of 2020. Students, thank you for caring so much about your school, your family, your friends, and your community. I am grateful and humbled to be a part of the 28th Annual Salute to Framingham. Very special thanks to Jackie Goldberg and all members of the Framingham High School Foundation who have made this memorable evening possible. At this time, I would like to turn this over to Mr. Lagan, the Vice Principal for the class of 2020, to recognize the student honorees from the class of 2021. Thank you.
So thank you, Ms. Bannock, and thanks again to the foundation for this opportunity to finally recognize these outstanding students, now graduates of Framingham High School. I am just going to jump right into it. And so here I go. I'm going to start off with the very first student honoree, and that is Sammy Bauer. Sammy Bauer, this is going to sound a little bit strange because some of this was written last year prior to the pandemic, right when we were going to have our salute last year. But I tried to adjust the words a little bit. So here we go. Sammy has a unique maturity that helps her push her peers to do what is right and makes everyone feel that they are part of the whole. As soccer captain, she helped freshmen on the team with homework and drove kids to practices, pasta parties, and other team activities. She also ran clinics for students with special needs, served as a leader on the unified basketball team, and was a peer leader. To top it all off, she may just have been the best sales associate in the history of Old Navy. Jake Benoit. Jake was the class of 2020 president for 4 years, getting elected his freshman year and re-elected each year, and never once having faced impeachment. Jake had a super high GPA, especially given all his incredibly challenging course load of 4 AP courses and 1 honors course his senior year. Jake was a two-way bilingual student who helped translate for newcomers in their elective classes. Jake also got a crash course in bureaucracy and establishing a bank account for the money that we raised last year that couldn't use for the prom and so forth. So thanks a lot for all that work, Jake. I didn't think he was expecting to do that work while a freshman at Harvard. That was difficult. Next up, Alex Kahn. Alex does it all. She was the captain of the state championship dance team, was the president of student government, became a driving force in last year's yearbook, took 4 AP and 1 honors courses senior year, found time to start the knitting club, was a member of the photography club, and volunteered as a youth ambassador for the Hugh O'Brien Foundation. She is at Wellesley College right now as a freshman, one of our other honorees. Next, we have Brian Chansky. Brian was an influential force in the class of 2020. After 2 years working with the steering committee to advance our class goals, he won a spot as a vice president as a junior. And in that role, he was a fierce advocate behind some of our initiatives, such as Junior Privs. Junior Privs is something that students now are reaping the benefits of because of his hard work. Not one to rest easy. His senior year, he took 5 AP courses and handled all of this with the cheerfulness and aplomb. He's an active member of the United Synagogue Youth at his temple, where he has been a board member the last 4 years and serves as chapter president. He has a positive impact on both the school and the community at large. Max Connor. Max was the president of the FHS Drama Company his senior year. It was his winning personality and genuine love of the arts that made his senior year one of the company's most successful, pre-pandemic, of course. As if being Bert and Mary Poppins and tap dancing upside down on the ceiling was not enough, his senior year played the role of Jean Valjean in the production of Les Mis, where the tattoo on his chest was not just a prop. He's an outstanding young man, actor, and student. Next is Marley DeSimone. Marley was in the top 5% of her class, had a rigorous core academic schedule with all AP classes, and was a member of the National Honor Society. Marley is not only a strong swimmer, she has also become a tremendous leader in providing guidance to younger athletes through her work as the AD tutor and at the pool. Throughout her career, she has brightened the challenging practices with her inspiration, smile, and charisma, which is even more impressive when you consider who her parents are. Mira Donaldson, on top of being a solid student who has steadily improved academically over the course of her year, Mira was the founder and driving force behind the Black Student Union, a club that seeks to improve the climate of the school for all her students. Her club did real hard cultural work. They presented to the faculty on several occasions, made connections with other BSUs in the state, and hosted important events for community members. Mira courageously brings the community together, and perhaps that courage results from her overcoming a liver transplant at the age of 14. Isabel Garrett. Isabel is an insightful reader and a mature beyond her years. While in high school, she spent her summers working on university-level research, and at FHS spent her days studying in all honors and AP courses, and even tutored students on her own in the library. She's now rocking it at MIT. Fiona Herskovich. Fiona was the class of 2020's treasurer for 4 years and was president of the National Honor Society as a senior. Fiona was the quiet force behind many of our initiatives, from lobbying to get Junior Privs to planning our Multicultural Day. All this while taking 3 AP courses her senior year and maintaining a GPA of 4.7. Ms. Maynard said Fiona is undoubtedly one of the hardest working students I have ever had in any of my years of teaching. She gives 100% in everything she does, both in and out of FHS. However, what truly sets her apart is her modesty. With all of her accomplishments, she's still willing to help others shine and succeed. Luini Giuliao. Simply put, whatever Luini put her mind to, she can do. She rocketed through her ESL classes, or after starting off at lower intermediate level, and graduated taking all honors classes, except for one class, which happened to be AP Studio Art. While working upwards of 30 hours a week, Giuliano amassed a GPA of 4.4 and even wrestled in the high school until an injury sidelined her. Her goal is to have a career in stop action animation, and she was the winner at her senior year, maybe it was a junior year, of the Boston Globe Gold Key Medal for her artwork. Jaslyn Leung. Jaslyn excelled since day one at FHS. She has a passion for both the field of science and working with kids, which will help in her pursuing her dream of becoming a pediatrician. Jaslyn was able to flawlessly balance an extremely rigorous course load, athletics, and her social life. In addition to being in the top 5% of her class, she was a leader on the girls' basketball team, a project manager for the National Honor Society, vice president of the Key Club, member of a traditional Chinese dance company, and an extremely accomplished piano player, obtaining the high school level diploma in a memorized program for the National Guild of Piano Teachers. Nick Novello. Nick, a captain of the football team, is an amazing athlete and student. a consummate team kid. He has an A+ work ethic and thinks of others first. His unbelievable knowledge of football allowed him to act like a coach on the field. One teacher has said, as teachers say, he's a brilliant student and works hard. He even explains problems to others in class and encourages his peers to answer problems correctly. Larissa Nunes. Larissa was instrumental as an executive anchor for the class of 2020, where her connection with various student groups brought new members together. On top of her challenging course load, she was active in her church, teaching religious education and planning activities for their youth group. She was also a dance leader, specializing in ballet and jazz at Brandy Ray's School of Dance, babysits for her neighbors, and is a camp counselor at Camp Invention. She is the first in her family to attend college. Jose Nunez Velasquez. Jose has the face of America, coming to us his freshman year from El Salvador, not knowing a word of English. He is always mature, respectful, hardworking, and eager to improve. Jose embodies a quality that we wish all our students had: perseverance. Despite challenges he has faced in his life, he always arrives ready and eager to learn with a smile on his face. His senior year in particular, he developed a passion for reading and eagerly dove into books, from graphic novels to classics. Not only is Jose a role model to other students, but he inspires his teachers to want to be the best they can for their students. Ilian Shelley Ortiz Lopez. Ilian Shelley is a student athlete who shows leadership both in and beyond the classroom. Her teachers use the words thoughtful, reflective, focused, and role model. Ilian Shelley came to FHS when she was in 9th grade from Puerto Rico. She started as a beginning ESL student, but made it all to all mainstream classes, became a standout player in the volleyball team, participated in the student immigration movement, and excelled in the classroom, not only with her own work, but in also motivating others who needed support. She gave tours to Spanish-speaking students as newcomers and as a senior helping freshman. She is also the first in her family to attend college. Hannah Pierce. Hannah was a wonderful role model for the class of 2020, not only because she was so involved, but she did so quietly. In addition to being our class treasurer for 4 years, she was an active member of the National Honor Society, annually completing 30 hours of community service in youth in philanthropy. She was the girls' basketball manager, member of the Model UN, and she also worked with Jake on working through all the bureaucracy and setting up accounts for us. So thank you for that work, Hannah. Jonalise Pena. Jonalise was an extremely active member of her class as a peer leader and as captain for 2 years in a row of the state championship dance team. She always has a smile on her face and sees the positive in every situation. She was a tremendous leader and role model for younger students and anyone who was being interested in getting involved, such as new students arriving from other countries and as a senior helping freshman. She did all of this while exuding a joy that became infectious for all around her. Brendan Chi, on top of a difficult schedule of 5 AP and honors classes his senior year, Brendan was a committed member of the drama company, playing prominent roles in many productions, including one of 3 drama company members to win an award at the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild State Drama Festival for the live music in Animal Farm. He was also a runner-up for Mr. FHS his junior year, where he wowed the audience with an incredible and extremely humorous xylophone playing. Arjun Ramachandrula. Arjun, besides having the best name to pronounce at graduation, is a scientifically talented and academically gifted student who was an integral part of the FHS community through his regular participation in extracurricular activities, especially robotics, where he has competed in national competitions. Over the course of his high school career, he maxed out all of his schedule of any possibility of AP and honors to the point where he had to do independent studies in math and technology. He is now studying engineering at, of all places, MIT. Julia Rivera. Julia continually surprised people with her talent and dedication. She was a member of the chorus and the color guard, where she successfully advocated for an indoor color guard team. She was also a member of the Step Up to Excellence program, where she completed multiple community service opportunities, such as tutoring elementary students in the district. Like many of her colleagues tonight, she always has a friendly disposition and greets people with a smile on her face. Megan Sidmore. Megan is an all-around amazing student and person. She was an active member of Flyer News, which required much dedication, getting here to school in the wee hours of the dawn while most students were still asleep, and some teachers too. She was a talented artist and student. She continually impressed with her knowledge and determination within the classroom. She is also kind and helpful to everyone she meets. Maddie Spear. Maddie is a positive, outgoing young lady who is a great role model to those around her. She has mastered a lot of academic skills, which has allowed her to find success in her classes, and is always willing to learn from her mistakes. She is funny, charismatic, and easy to talk to. A 4-year member of the drama company, acting as treasurer her junior year. On top of her leading roles on some of the company's biggest plays, she regularly volunteered at middle school productions and helps in every way, from staging to ushering. And I need to say here that all these talents came from her mother's side. We have to lay that on the table and say it as it is. Haley Vanelstein. Haley is one of those people whose passion for making the world a better place becomes contagious. As president of the Gender and Sexuality Alliance, she worked with other clubs in spearheading a color run fundraising campaign. Unfortunately, we couldn't run it last year because of the pandemic, but she did all the planning in place. She was a vocal leader of the girls' hockey team, becoming a player others looked up to. On the unified basketball team, she cares deeply about the special education students, taking time to get to know her classmates personally. Haley's joy in helping her teammates became evident and reflects her a kind and caring personality, which complements her academics, as she was inducted into the National Honor Society her senior year. And Sam Whiting. Sam is a compassionate and thoughtful, motivated young man. He had strong academic skills, along with social self-confidence, which made him a role model for his peers, whether on the court, the ball field, or in the classroom. Sam was a captain of the boys basketball team and became a leader on the unified basketball team, where he willingly gave up his time and energy to help special education students enjoy the game of basketball. I want to say thank you once again to the foundation for allowing us to celebrate these graduates. It was great to see them back again.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lagan, and congratulations to all of our honorees in the class of 2020. The greatest joy this year has been welcoming back our students, most notably our seniors, since this is the culmination of their education in the Framingham Public Schools and their last year with us. The seniors who are with us tonight embody commitment, fortitude, and humility, working diligently for 4 years, more diligently in some ways because of the pandemic, all the while watching junior and senior milestones slip away. And we know how hard that was, and we know that was very hard. But yet you manage the circumstances with grace and understanding, maintaining your strong work ethic that brings you here this evening. You continue to bring your positive energy to everything you do, leaving us to marvel over your maturity and resolve. You zoomed into class in full remote, hybrid, full daily return on 2 different schedules, having to make the shift from the 9 a.m. start time to the 7:20 start time. And you adapted over and over again throughout constant winds of change for the past 14 months with patience and grace. Tonight, we celebrate your tenacity and your unwavering commitment to excellence in academic and personal growth. Thank you for your gifts and talents that you share for the good of our school community and modeling excellence and strength of character. I now turn to Mr. Convery, Vice Principal for the class of 2021, to recognize our honorees in the class of 2021.
Welcome. Each year, the Salute to Framingham recognizes members of the graduating class. We recognize these students for their contribution to FHS as a community and Framingham as a whole. So without further ado, we will meet this year's Salute to Framingham honorees from the class of 2021. This year, we're going to introduce these seniors through the words with which they were nominated by staff. Sophie Albright. Sophie is determined, dedicated, focused, unselfish, reliable, honest, and earnest. All superlatives apply. Sophie holds herself to an incredibly high standard both in and out of the classroom, gym, and track. As a captain of both the FHS varsity track and field and FHS varsity cheerleading teams, she lives by the mantra of never excusing herself from the work that is necessary to achieve. Her athletic skills, along with her dedication to academic excellence, will have her competing in high jump as a Boston College Eagle next year. Enrique Amencio. This year and last year, he was an eager participant in class and brings very positive energy. He's always willing to share ideas and help out others. Especially this year, he's always engaged in Zoom classes and tries to encourage others to participate more as well. Rose Bailey. Rose is a dedicated learner both inside and outside of the classroom. She engages in the decision-making process at FHS and is a strong advocate for environmental and social justice. She works tirelessly to stand up for what she believes in and is an inspiration to both students and staff. Ian Barney. Ian has taken an array of courses at the honors and advanced college placement levels. Ian is one of the most versatile students I've worked with in my 16 years. His multifaceted ways are reflected in his extracurricular activities such as theater and athletics. He is one of the few students that has been able to balance the demands of athletics, soccer and wrestling, drama, and academics so well. Ian also finds the time to be involved with the Rotary Youth Leadership Association. Aiden Beckman. Aiden is a senior leader with the marching band and percussion ensemble. He is constantly working to better himself and his peers. He is a dedicated member of the class and always seeks to support others with his skills and dedication. Hannah Bosange. President of the FHSDC and runner-up in the non-English speaking union competition, she has kept the drama company connected this year in the midst of very challenging times. Her attitude and positivity has made it possible for others to keep their heads up as well. Sydney Callahan. She's a force of nature, absolutely the most positive, helpful, determined, hard worker ever. She consistently supports others, creating a ripple effect of positivity throughout FHS and beyond. Erin Casey. She has come so far. She is heavily involved in the International Order of the Rainbow Girls, which is the female branch of the Masons. Erin has been the president of her youth chapter, and they do lots of community service like Alzheimer's walks, raising money for Shriners Hospital, women's shelter, veterans, and elderly. She has been a great role model for the younger RFL students, sharing that change is possible and that she has lived it despite the curveballs that life throws at us. Jacob Chartier. In a void of silence and black screens, he always participates, volunteers to read, and does well with his work. He is always extremely polite, reflective, and even humorous. It's been nice having him in class, and after speaking with some of his past teachers, they agree that he helps to elevate those around him. Anna Clara Costa. She is the embodiment of FHS spirit and positivity. She leads through her example of kindness, and she has her hand in every part of the FHS experience. She participates in track and field, is an active member in Step Up, has been class president for all 4 years, is part of Model Congress, just to name a few things. Most importantly, what I love about Anna is that she doesn't do any of these things for her resume. She is genuinely curious about the world and is so excited to follow her passions and interests in any way she can. Not to mention, she is an academic powerhouse rocking a tough schedule, and she will be our first FHS grad with a special AP distinction after completing the AP seminar capstone. Timothy Gilbert. He goes above and beyond in his genuine kindness, one of the kindest students I have had in my 28 years teaching. His dedication in and out of FHS is commendable. His volunteer work with Timothy's Toy Box has spread joy and happiness to countless Framingham families. Nate Jacobs. Not only is Nate one of the funniest students I've ever had, he is also one of the kindest. Nate has grown so much in high school, not just in academic ability, but in perseverance, emotional intelligence, and social awareness. He shows true compassion every day. Lily Karofsky. Lily is a rock star. She brings a smile to my face every day I see her. She is not only a talented writer, but also a talented public speaker and actress. I would vote for her for Congress. Joy Kunda. He has been an amazing kid since he stepped through the doors of FHS 4 years ago. He came to the U.S. with his family when he was in 7th grade. His English proficiency was level 1 at the time, yet the following year he won the school-wide 8th grade essay contest in English. This is just one example of his many accomplishments that are the result of his determination and diligence. He has also been heavily involved in clubs and activities that revolve around social justice, immigrant and Black student rights, and making FHS a better place for all. Ashley Lemus. Ashley has demonstrated an unmatched willingness to learn and practice. She often participates, shows creativity in her presentations, and even goes the extra mile to have fun with assignments. She is truly a pleasure. Olivia Lincoln. Olivia Lincoln has been the captain of the softball team for 2 years and does peer leadership. She's been an amazing leader during a difficult time. She organizes off-season opportunities to bring players together, which is particularly challenging in the current environment where many players are new to the program. She's an all-around positive person who teammates gravitate toward and trust. She works the hardest and brings out the best in those around her. Said Lomami. Said constantly gives effort and is genuinely interested in the literature and the class. He takes pride in doing well. His constant effort and positive attitude has helped to lift the spirits of those around him on a daily basis. Rachel Marinovsky. Rachel is a member of NHS, field hockey captain, 2 years ice hockey captain, and it seems like she basically tries extremely hard to excel at everything she does: sports, school, work, and life. In addition to being an outstanding FHS community member, she has also continued to work throughout the entire pandemic as a frontline worker at Carmel Terrace Assisted Living in Framingham. I cannot think of a better person to be honored for the salute than Rachel. Diego Mazariego. Diego is an engaged student, always actively communicating with me and interacting with other students. He is also a fantastic community member. He did a journalistic internship last summer, jumping right into the work world, even as everything was virtual. He has consistently impressed all around him as he grows and matures. Elizabeth McElwain. Elizabeth is incredibly polite, hardworking, and earnest. Additionally, she is heavily involved on the dance team and balances her time between sports, activities, and academics. Jack Ruggiero. Jack is someone everyone knows and loves. His energy makes you feel uplifted instantly. He is happy, caring, helpful, encouraging, and interested in what others are doing and saying. He is willing to jump into any activity. He's eager to learn and works well with anyone. These qualities make him an exemplary friend, student, teammate, and leader. Gabriela Rodriguez. Gabby has not only been wonderful as far as attendance and participation, but she is often helpful to other students and keeps in-class questions interesting and relevant. She always has a smile on her face and is wonderful to have in class. Kim Sala. I don't think I've ever witnessed such growth in any other student. Kim started with me as a sophomore, vowing that she hated reading and English, and she grew so much that year that she moved to honors for the rest of high school and has been a successful tutor in the ADC for 2 years. Kim's greatest strength is encouraging good in other people. She truly makes FHS a better place. Carly Sofro. Carly is driven, motivated, hardworking, kind, honest, dependable, and all other kind things to say. Her dedication to excellence and perseverance has made Carly a standout among her peers. Sidley Valencia Cordova. She is a student who continuously impresses me with her knowledge base. She is a passionate learner and teacher. She easily conveys her thoughts and inspires others to want to learn more. As her teacher, I constantly find myself saying, "Great question," or thought, "Let's investigate this further." Those are your 25 honorees for this year's Salute to Framingham, introduced to you by the words that the staff members used when nominating them. We couldn't be more proud.
That is tremendous. Great job. Thank you very much, Jeff and Greg and Principal Banak. And congratulations, heartfelt congratulations to our 2020 and 2021 student honorees. I'm going to share with you something it took me a minute to figure out. If you're using the chat to send a note to any of the honorees, I think the default, at least for me, is to send the chat notes to panelists. And while we love seeing them, I think most of them are going to attendees. So make sure you use that little pull down menu if you're going to send a chat note of congratulations or support. Send it to attendees and panelists, or just attendees, and they'll be sure to see it. I'd like to take just a moment to thank our Silvers sponsors for tonight. These are, this event happens each and every year, and each and every year it seems there are many of the same organizations and companies and individuals who are ponying up, sponsoring, and making these events possible by sponsorships. Avidia Bank, Bernardi Auto Group, Fitz Insurance, Middlesex Savings Bank, and Realtor Phil Ottoviani. Thank you all for your support of the Framingham High School Foundation and the Salute to Framingham. Now we're going to move on to our Salute to Framingham honorees for this evening. Again, put those notes in the chat. Make sure you put them to attendees as well as panelists, and our honorees will be able to see them as well. Let's begin with Alex Braverman, who has been involved in Framingham youth athletic programs for 25 years. He is described as a great coach, as a team leader, as a mentor, and as a friend. As with many parents, Alex began coaching when his children were participants, but he continued coaching long after his children aged out of the programs. Through the years, he has coached Framingham United Soccer Club, TBA Temple Beth Ann basketball. He has served on the board of FUSC. He was both the president and the treasurer of FUSC. He's a division director for TBA basketball. He has been a soccer referee for over 15 years, and was in fact the referee director for the FUSC for several years. He took on the Herculean task of running that giant FUSC Memorial Day soccer tournament, and he did it for many, many years. In 2015, when FUSC ran into some financial difficulties, Alex played an integral role in guiding the club back to financial stability. He was fundamental in helping rebuild the reputation of FUSC as responsible stewards, providing quality soccer programs for the entire Framingham community. According to those who have worked with him, Alex, quote, goes above and beyond in whatever capacity he is involved, whether it's coaching, being on the board, in an executive role, or stepping in whenever help is needed. He's got a beautiful family. We can see him right there. Would you please join me in congratulating Alex Braverman? Nice job, Alex. And it is a beautiful family. Our next Salute to Framingham honoree is Ricky Finlay. Ricky's love for Framingham runs deep, and he does what is in the best interest of Framingham's children, the school system, and the community. He is a three-time member of the Framingham School Committee. Ricky has been an advocate for all students and spearheaded the effort to eliminate all athletic and activity fees for all Framingham students. Ricky has made lasting improvements to recreational facilities in the area of South Framingham. You see them everywhere. And most recently was the driving force behind the Hoops and Homework Playground. For more than a year, Ricky worked tirelessly, bringing city and business leaders and local unions and residents all together to coordinate a community-based design and identify resources. He coordinated institutions and unions in more than 200 participants, and he was able to complete the playground in one single build day. Really remarkable. He was the driving force behind lining up the funding for the Braverman playground, and has recently taken a leading role in the effort to build an addition that is to the interfaith site. Ricky also dabbled in sports, a former coach and equipment manager for Framingham Youth Football and Cheer. He's a member of the Framingham Disability Commission. He's a member of the City SEAL Committee. Ricky's also a member of the Fuller Building Committee, a member of the Board of Directors for Hoops and Homework, and also serves in his spare time as a Cub Master for the Saxonville Pac-21. Those who have worked closely with him say, quote, "Rick is the type of public servant and member of our community that shows anyone who is dedicated and cares can make a difference in the lives of our youth." And he has certainly done that. If someone reaches out to Ricky for help, no matter who it is or what they need, Ricky is always there. It's great to see you tonight. Please join me in congratulating our honoree Ricky Finlay, ladies and gentlemen. I see a couple of people behind you there as well. I see your family behind you as well. I think, Zoom audience, if you give us just a second, can we bring both Alex and Ricky back on camera for one last round of applause in our chat? Alex, go ahead and turn your camera on. There they are. Our honorees, ladies and gentlemen, our 2021 Salute to Framingham honorees. Congratulations, gentlemen. And thanks for all you do for our community. Several years ago, an award was created in honor of the founder of the Salute to Framingham, a gentleman named Jim O'Connor. The Jim O'Connor Community Service Award is given to organizations that share the same passion, vision, interest, and dedication that Jim showed when he introduced and chaired this event 27 years ago. The 2020 recipient of the Jim O'Connor Community Service Award is Jeff's Place. Jeff's Place provides free grief support groups for families who have experienced a significant death loss. They serve children ages 3 to 18 along with their caregivers. They facilitate healthy integration of loss by helping families feel connected with each other and less alone on their grief journey. Their work to normalize the process of grieving for children especially and teens by promoting peer-to-peer connections to lessen feeling alone, to empower children and teens to recognize and cope with their varied feelings, to help them build confidence and self-esteem through the development of trusting and empathetic bonds. They encourage laughter, they encourage play and fun, and they provide hope, healing, and meaningful growth for all those lives that they touch. All groups are facilitated by both a clinician and a trained grief-informed counselor. Jeff's Place also provides individual and family counseling along with crisis intervention and professional education trainings on childhood bereavement for schools, and for local organizations. Jeff's Place actually began in 2010 with just 6 families and 9 children. But through the years, clearly they've met a need for numerous grieving children and families in our Metro West community as the number of families contacting them for services has steadily increased. This prompted Jeff's Place to become an independent 501(c) organization back in 2011 and moved to Framingham in 2013. Jeff's Place now has served over 550 individuals from 38 cities and towns in and around Metro West through their free support groups, through their individual counseling, through their education training, and through their crisis intervention. Their families come from a wide diversity of cultural and socioeconomic backgrounds. Grief and loss, sadly, does not discriminate. Would you please join me in congratulating Jeff's Place, 2020 recipient of the Jim O'Connor Community Service Award. Jeff's Place, ladies and gentlemen. I'd now like to introduce Framingham Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Robert Tremblay to say just a couple of words. Good evening, Dr. Tremblay.
Good evening, David. Thanks for joining us. Great to see you again. Great to see everybody. It's been quite a journey this year, and as we come upon celebrating this week our nurses, last week our teachers, our food service professionals, we are indeed grateful to so many for all the work that's been happening this year. I just wanted to just take a moment tonight just to say thank you to everyone, to congratulate the honorees this evening, to all of our students and everyone who's participating in this virtual environment. It's really just quite an honor to come together, and I look forward to doing this in person next year. And it's just great to be together with all of you tonight, even in this virtual world that we've come to figure out pretty expertly by necessity in this last year or so. So thank you all for joining this evening. And thanks for the invitation to say a few remarks tonight and to be here to celebrate our staff that are coming on next, and certainly our students who I just can't wait to celebrate with them at commencement this year in person. Really excited about those days ahead. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Tremblay. This is the third year that the Salute is presenting this next honor. It is for a senior level administrator in the district who is retiring after a decade or more of service in the Framingham Public Schools. This administrator has dedicated their career to students' education, to their enrichment, and to their well-being, positively impacting thousands of children and families throughout Framingham. The award has appropriately been named "We Are Grateful," and shows our thanks to this individual for all that they've contributed through the years. Send our honorees some love in the chat as we tell you about our honorees. Let's begin with Susan McGilvery-Rivet. Susan has devoted her career to building through bilingual education, welcoming and inclusive education communities, and limitless possibilities for all students, and especially for multilingual learners. She has been an incredibly powerful advocate for bilingual programs and in bringing in diverse students, bringing them together to learn both with and from each other through language and through culture. Susan has been a Massachusetts educator for over 43 years. She began her career in 1977 as a bilingual Spanish teacher in Lawrence, and then quickly rose to coordinator of transitional bilingual education. She was then hired as principal of Proctor Elementary School in Topsfield. She assumed her first Framingham position as director of bilingual ESL and sheltered English education in 1994, and then became principal of Barberry Elementary School in 2010. Susan is a graduate in elementary education and Spanish from Wittenberg University. She holds both a Master's of Education and doctorate degrees from Boston University. She's a recipient of numerous local and national bilingual and civil rights educator awards. Minerva Gonzalez, who's the former principal of Barberry Elementary School, wrote of her, she said, "Her lifelong commitment to education has significantly impacted the lives of the children in our community and the community itself. Susan is invested in the community and has always looked at bilingual education as an investment in the future of our children's education." Dr. Susan McGilvery-Rivet, for your many years of dedication and service to the Framingham Public Schools and your students, we are grateful. To our next honoree, Jen Griecci, who came to Framingham, Massachusetts from Italy as a child and has never forgotten her beginnings. Her experiences and memories have propelled her to make a difference in the lives of Framingham's immigrant children and youth. Jen began as English as a second language teacher at the Framingham South High School back in the day, and continued in that role when the high schools merged, North and South. She then moved on to become the department head of the bilingual and ESL programs at the high school. Later, she would become the assistant director to the district's bilingual and ESL program, eventually assuming the position as director. Under Jen's leadership and her guidance, the entire district has come to know and appreciate the importance of bilingualism and biculturalism. She has expanded the program to each and every school in the district. She has paved the way for 3 new two-way programs at Potter Road Elementary, Wilson Elementary, and Brophy Elementary. She has implemented innovative programs such as SLIFE for students who come to Framingham with little or no interrupted schooling, native language tutors that are available for low incidence students, and a legal waiver process where bilingual programs have to ensure that students did not lose content while they were learning in English. Dr. Esther Montano describes Jen as patient, kind, caring, collaborative, and determined. She is, says Esther, without a doubt, the first name you will hear when Framingham's English learners and graduates of the program are asked who has had a major impact on their lives. Jen Griecci, for your many years of dedication and service to the Framingham Public Schools and to your students, we are grateful. All right, congratulations to both of our We Are Grateful honorees. As we move ahead, we hope you're holding up okay. We're going to move on to, I think this could be our favorite part of the evening. This is the You Are Specials. All of our recipients tonight are so special, and we could go on all night, but we're just going to give a brief introduction for each recipient. Somewhere you should have a program. Maybe you have a physical program. In the chat, you'll see where you can download a program. You can get it from the High School Foundation website for more information about these wonderful people that you're about to hear about. And again, since we can't be together to tell these people how wonderfully, how incredibly awesome they are and special they are, please do it in the chat where they can see and feel the love. We have sort of a special award that we'll be giving tonight to all of the names that I mispronounce, and I'll apologize in advance. I'm going to do the best I can, but apologize in advance for any that I get just a little bit wrong. So shall we jump right in here? I think we shall. Hold on, here we go. All right. Maria Aparecida Diaz from the Cameron Middle School. Cida is the first person that most people see when they come through the front doors of Cameron Middle School. Cida is a bridge to the Brazilian families who entrust their children to the school each and every day. She is a mentor to some of the most struggling students. They stop by to see her, to share their troubles, and she in turn encourages them to believe in themselves. Cida Diaz, hang on before we wait for it.
You are special.
You are special. All right, let's move on. Peggy Ayers in the central office. Peggy is a proud mother. She is a grandmother. She is a chef of the ultimate breakfast casserole. She has many talents. She has been an invaluable member of the community resource development team since March of 2014. She is always present, willing, and ready to help. She consistently goes above and beyond and is just an incredible joy to work with. Peggy Ayers.
You are special.
You are special, Peggy Ayers. Let's move on to the office manager team at Barberry. Lianis Alvarez and Diane Cartier. The office managers, Diane and Lianis, are the face and operation of Barberry. Every parent, every family member, every visitor who walks through the front door is greeted in Spanish, English, and sometimes even a little Portuguese. No matter how busy or how many tasks there are to juggle, everyone is greeted with a smile. The office is a safe place for students due to this dynamic duo. Lianis and Diane, you are special. Over to Fuller Middle School, Jennifer Bremer. Jennifer can be described as multilingual, multi-talented, dedicated to all students, and a skilled special educator in both elementary and in middle school. She's a fierce advocate for students with disabilities, especially those with autism. Thanks to her extreme passion about teaching and her exemplary dedication to learning, she is an all-around asset to the Fuller Middle School community. Jennifer Bremer.
You are special.
You are special. We're moving up to, or across town over to Stapleton Elementary School for Lauren Brown, who is being saluted by the staff at Stapleton for being an amazing special educator. Lauren's ability to relate and work with the most fragile students is really elementary and exemplary. She has a gift for teaching students who have lost confidence in themselves, knowing what students need, and also unifying staff. She goes above and beyond for staff and for students. Lauren Brown.
You are special.
Yes, you are. All right, over to Brophy and Gina Cavagallupo. Gina inspires all the staff at Brophy with her dedication to students. When she talks to them, it's not only about their test scores and their reading level, but also about their personal lives and their personality traits. She believes in the importance of remembering the whole child, and carries this motto with her in all she does. Gina's impact at Brophy is immeasurable. Gina,
You are special.
I got to say, as I'm going through these, I can see the chat messages flying by. That's wonderful to see. It really is. Show our You Are Specials the love in the chat room. Lori from Dunning Elementary School, proud Dunning parent right here. Lori Cassavant, as a kindergarten teacher, Lori's singular focus is always to provide the most successful kindergarten experience to brand new students, our youngest students, and their families. She's consistently exceeding expectations as a model educator, always looking to improve her skills and embrace new technologies and methodologies, and to benefit her students. Lori Cassavant, you are special. All right. Back to Fuller, are we? All right then. Joseph Cheverini from Fuller Middle School is Mr. C, as he's known, is a dedicated professional who flies under the radar when it comes to drawing attention to himself for all of the wonderful things that he does for his students. He is the go-to guy for anyone who needs advice. He's a caring, someone there with a caring pat on the shoulder or a place to vent or cry. Mr. C connects with all adults by being a thoughtful and trusted team player and a mentor with a great sense of humor. It's important. Mr. C, we're so proud of you from Fuller Middle School. You are special. Over to Woodrow Wilson. Jack Coleman has been one of the pillars of Woodrow Wilson School for many, many years, inspiring countless students and helping the school community come together, if you will, through music at our global gatherings. His creative ability to write songs related to school pride and curriculum highlight his passion for the school and for the students. Jack Coleman, you are special. Crosstown to Hemingway. Jackie Caroni is an invaluable member of the Hemingway staff. She is well respected by everybody, by teachers, by administrators, by parents, and by students at Hemingway. She's hardworking, knowledgeable, patient, and kind, and she's always ready to take on any challenge that comes her way. Jackie Caroni,
you are special.
Yes, you are. Back to Walsh, proud Walsh parent right here. Cheryl Curley. Cheryl has worked tirelessly for all her students and is a supportive team leader for her colleagues. She's the driving force behind the Walsh Connections program. She's a mentor to countless special educators, and her students, Cheryl's students, succeed because of her hard work. Cheryl's team of teachers feel supported because of her leadership, and the entire Walsh community is a better place because of her. Cheryl Curley, you are special. Iris DeLeon from Blocks. I have a special place in my heart for Blocks. My wife, Kathy O'Leary, worked at Blocks for a number of years. Iris is a collaborator. She's a team player. She's a talented artist and tech wizard who is willing to help in all areas without needing to be asked. That's a rare thing indeed. Her organization, her good judgment, and positive relationships, especially with our Spanish-speaking families, has provided daily two-way communication and collaboration between school and home. Iris is an asset to Blocks. Iris DeLeon, you are special. Yes, you are. Back to Dunning, are we? Maria Diaz is an invaluable asset to the Dunning community. Her caring and calming demeanor allow others to feel comfortable working with her. Flexibility, her professionalism, her expertise all allow her to work with a variety of students spanning across all grade levels, across all cognitive abilities and languages. She strives to provide the most supportive and successful impact that she can. Maria Diaz, you are special. Yes, you are. From Brophy Elementary School, Victoria Dutcher. Tori is a true leader in that she's very skilled at her work, but she's always willing to learn and to lead by example. Though the bulk of her work is working with staff, she still works with groups of children, and they work hard so that they can earn time with her. Brophy School is grateful to have Tori as a leader in that school. Tori Dutcher, you are special. On to Dana Feingold from Potter Road Elementary School. Dana is Potter's literacy coach, and since becoming the Potter literacy coach, Dana has worked to ensure that literacy is at the forefront of all students and all that they do, and all the teachers do for that matter. Though her work using the multi-tiered system supports to her consistent presence in the classroom, she's always around working with all educators to improve literacy instruction. She is always figuring out how to do what's best for all students, and they're very, very fortunate to have her. Dana Feingold, you are special. From Stapleton Elementary School, Gabriel Garcette. Mr. Garcette is being saluted by the staff at Stapleton for going above and beyond the call of duty, something he does quite often. Not only does Gabriel take excellent care of the building, but he's also an incredibly positive role model for the students in the building. And he interacts with the students quite frequently. He's got a great attitude. He's always willing to help in any way he can. He is someone that staff and students look forward to seeing each and every day. Gabriel Garcette,
You are special.
Congratulations. We're on to Mark Goldschmidt from the high school, from Framingham High School. Mark possesses the skills, experience, and positive mindset required to genuinely impact the lives of the students he interacts with each and every day. He's a visionary educator who thinks strategically about ways that we can best support academic and social and emotional success for our students. As a result of Mark's efforts, Nala joined our staff, and together they bring comfort and peace and happiness to our school community. They make a great pair. Mark Goldschmidt,
You are special.
And Nala is special too. From the King Elementary School, Sabrina Gravanti from King is a highly respected and invaluable member of the school community. She consistently exhibits a strong work ethic and a commitment to the students that she serves. She serves as a positive role model in children's lives, and we are so fortunate to have her at King Elementary School. Sabrina Gravanti, you are special. From Potter Road Elementary School, Monica LeBron. Throughout her time at Potter, Monica has been an integral part of students' lives. She is one of those teachers, one of those people who is always willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done and ensure that students reach their highest potential. With her positive attitude, with her compassion, with her bright smile, and her bilingual skills, she never gives up on students. Monica LeBron, you are special. We're back to the high school for Nicole McCormick. Nikki's work exemplifies her tireless effort to help students reach their potential while they simultaneously work on their own mental health needs. Without question, Nikki's positive and caring approach has been the determining factor in the success of countless Bridge students since the inception of the program. Nikki McCormick, you are special. Over at McCarthy, Elena Nardizzi. Elena is the glue that keeps the McCarthy School together. She has a warm smile, look at that, a listening ear for both students and for staff. She's always welcoming, ready to assist parents or families or visitors, and she does it all with grace and compassion and with kindness. Elena Nardizzi, we are blessed to have you, and from the bottom of our hearts, we want you to know just how special you are. Elena Nardizzi, you are special. Jump over to Cameron Middle School for Colleen Rogers. She is many things. She is unshakable, she is confident, she is steady, and she is comforting. She's always honest and transparent with families, providing a listening ear, helping to arrange outside services if necessary, or having difficult conversations that sometimes need to be had. You have to be a special kind of person to be a school nurse at a middle school. There's a special place in heaven for the middle school nurses. And Colleen Rogers, you are that kind of person. Colleen Rogers, you are special. Back to Walsh. Hey, Walsh. For Elisa Sadalski from Walsh. She has spent her entire career at Walsh teaching French and Spanish over the past 48 years. Wow, she has taught countless numbers of students. She mentors teachers. She assists with substitutes. She ensures that the curriculum is up to date, and she is a fierce advocate for world language. Lisa not only makes a positive impact on her students, but she also provides a good amount of support for her colleagues and the entire Walsh community. Elisa, you are special. Back to the high school, Dan Serpensky works tirelessly to get the most out of all of his science students. His positive attitude and his ability to build relationships with the students and to collaborate both with students and with colleagues is commendable. Dan Serpensky, you are special. All right. Oh, wait, jumping the gun here. Let me get just one more. Mabel Sue from Blocks, back to Blocks. Aside from Mabel's professionalism and her educational training, her personal qualities that are so engaging, not just to children, but to children and to families and to staff. Mabel is a gift wrapped up in a small package with tremendous amounts of generosity and thoughtfulness and graciousness and kindness that she offers to us all. Mabel Sue, you are special. That is our You Are Specials. I wonder if we could just have one big giant, I don't know, can we open up everybody's microphone for just a second? Against better judgment, I'm going to ask if we can do that. Just have one big You Are Special. Or maybe in our on the count of three, everybody together with You Are Special. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You are special.
Special.
That actually worked out pretty well. Congratulations to all of our You Are Special recipients. It really is, it's one of the highlights of the year. An event like this doesn't happen year after year after year without a dedicated committee. So I want to take just a moment to offer thanks to the Salute to Framingham committee. It includes Jill Cassidy, Wendy Chen, Jackie Goldberg, Beth Goldfarb, Hillary Jacobson, Laurie Kimmelstein, Lana Lessam, Nancy O'Connor, Carol Phelan, Dee Dee Rich, Anne-Marie Rogers, Rachel Scanlon, my neighbor, and Sydney Turner. Also, big thanks to the Framingham Public Schools and especially to Rochelle Santos, who has been behind the scenes hosting this event via Zoom and kind of walking us through our tech rehearsals and so forth over the last couple of days. All of the honorees this evening, by the way, received the gift bags that you can see there on screen. So there's a little bit of swag there, which is nice. And a final thank you to some more of our sponsors, our blue sponsors that include Canby Financial Advisors, Capital Group Properties, Definitive Healthcare, Dr. Deborah Himmelhock, Framingham Legislation, Senate President Karen Spilka, and State Reps Jack Lewis and Maria Robinson, the Metro West Community Federal Credit Union, and the Metro West Medical Center. All of those sponsors are there in your program, and they're the usual suspects who pony up every single year. So please shop there, or when you interact with them, please communicate to them how much you appreciate their sponsorship of events like this. The Salute to Framingham would mean a great deal. Our thanks to you for zooming in tonight and being part of this very, very special and unique 28th Salute to Framingham celebration. Congrats again to all of our honorees. Heartfelt thanks for all you do for Framingham and beyond. And a reminder that a recording of this event will be available on the FHS Foundation website and the Framingham Public Schools Facebook page, and that should happen very, very shortly. I'm David O'Leary. Thanks again for watching, and good night.